Don't be fake.
I've never been fake.
They're the most famous housewives on the planet.
Would anybody like a shrimp?
Real housewives live in fabulous mansions. They drive fabulous cars, the whole nine.
They were women that lunched and women that played tennis and women that gossip.
She said you asked her.
The Bravo franchise is a global phenomenon, with a spin-off on almost every continent.
In my mind, the show was a reality soap opera.
Controlled largely by one man.
Hey everybody, it's Andy Cohen.
There's a new way they watch because of you. People have really strong opinions about our show.
I had no idea it was going to get so big.
Good morning.
In unison there, very impressive.
People just really buy into us.
Are you friends again now, or what's happening?
It's a show that comes fully loaded with conflict. And drama so unhinged, it's barely believable.
You're making this up, right?
They're not playing, it's for real.
This wouldn't happen in real life.
It's a train wreck, it's a cat fight.
You're supposed to be my friend!
Am I really that psycho?
Stay out of my life!
This is definitely one of my biggest regrets.
To me, bitch! You better watch your hands!
All my crazy little girls.
But in recent years, the housewives have become mired in controversy.
Former Real Housewife of New York, Bethany Frankel, says reality stars should go on strike.
The lawsuit alleges Andy, quote, engages in cocaine use with housewives that he employs.
She claims that she was pressured by producers to drink.
The more we fall, the better they do.
Am I gonna get thrown out of Rhode Island?
You're a gladiator with tits.
20 years after it first aired, how did a show about housewives create some of the most outrageous moments in television history?
This was my life that you are destroying. I will never forgive Bravo for that.
It all started here, magical Coto de Caza in sunny Orange County, California.
There was just nothing else like it. That place where you can have shopping and horses and tennis and golf. It was just a magical place to live and raise your family. I'm Gina Keogh, and I was the very first Real Housewives of Orange County.
Hi, ladies. Come in, come in.
I got my real estate license 10 years ago, I believe. My first home was $1.6 million.
It's beautiful grounds. It's one of the original houses in Coto.
Is it really?
At the time, my life was, pretty much dealing with my husband, doing my real estate and driving the kids around.
Let's head out in case we hit traffic.
Living next to Gina is the man who dreamed up the housewives and started it all.
I had this idea that emanated at a dinner party where I was kind of with people in Coto de Caza. And I wanted to do something that could be interesting, some type of a documentary or docu-something on these people.
Scott Dunlop, he was a producer and an actor and just a really cool guy. And he would always come over to my house and go, oh my God, this revolving door you have, it's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's always the most interesting people.
Enjoy the day, gang.
Reality television was taking off. And in Coto, it's a bedroom community where all the men traditionally leave and the women are left on the ranch.
What you got planned for today?
To kind of run wild.
Did I get a martini after this?
Dunlop's idea is for a documentary-style show following the daily lives of a group of upper-class women, their families,
Get the hand-me-down!
and incredibly wealthy lifestyle.
Just keep them on, those are yours. And he took that and pitched it to Bravo, and they said, we love that concept, but go get 4 other families.
When Scott approached me, I'd like, you're nuts. I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough.
I'm not cooking dinner if nobody's gonna frickin' be here.
This is crazy. I'm like, I'm not acting, this is my real life. And they're like, this is exactly what we want. We want to go behind the gates, behind your doors, and really see how you all live back here.
And then the love, what? Bring it in 3 minutes. Okay, I'll bring my laptop in the car.
My name is Vicki Gunvalson, and I was one of the first cast members of the Real Housewives of Orange County. I was living and still live in Coto de Caza. I was married to Don Gunvalson, 2 children. Brianna was 17, Michael was 18, and I am an insurance agent.
Vicki is the OG of the OC, hardworking insurance executive.
Hi, Kathy, Vicki Gunvalson. Just wanted to follow up with you.
Said, let's take a jump off the the diving board here and have some fun this summer.
So I'm like, okay, we'll try it.
Michael, when you get to be a dad, you're gonna have to do better at packing.
Besides Gina and Vicky, Scott Dunlap cast Kimberly Bryant, Joe De La Rosa, and Lori Waring. 5 women, all larger than life.
If his friends think I'm a MILF, then great.
Take some of my emotions.
I think a good real housewife is someone who isn't afraid to be themselves, somebody who is living a big life and not afraid to sort of speak their mind.
I want it to look good. I don't care if it's comfortable.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of like shoes, you know?
And in the beginning, that's what producers focus on. Real housewives living real lives. Nothing is staged, and they make up the show as they go.
Season 1 was very organic. It was just like, okay, you're coming over today, what do you want to film? I'm gonna go pick up Brianna and I'm taking her to get her hair done. Okay, we're filming that. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Okay, let's do it.
Now, there's no drinking tonight.
I know, I don't.
Okay? No drinking.
I never do.
And no sex.
Oh my God.
There was nothing pre-thought. There was nothing pre-scripted. There was no ulterior motive. It was just film my life.
The show debuts in 2006, and despite featuring many mundane, everyday moments, draws enough of an audience to get renewed. But for season 2, it gets a major revamp under the direction of the man at the top, Andy Cohen, who has spotted its true potential.
In my mind, the show was a soap opera, a reality soap opera.
What? I don't need to eat it. I'm so mad at everybody that let me eat my sandwich.
Andy Cohen was an executive at Bravo, and he really is the mastermind behind The Real Housewives.
This is a study in affluent human interplay.
He recognized that there was something special there.
Get out. Stop. Get out.
Get out.
You drive like.
This is a show about mothers and children, about husbands and wives.
You can't get mad at me about that.
I'm not mad at you about it. I'm mad at the situation.
That's funny.
And this is a show mainly about friendship.
It's a soap, but it's real, gifting viewers iconic moments like this.
It's time to go on a cruise.
So season 2, I decided to plan a trip to Rome, and the stretch limo was supposed to show up at the house at 7 a.m. Suitcases are packed, Don's bringing all the luggage down, and he comes in and he's like, did you order a family van? I'm like, no. And I about lost my shit.
I am not happy. This is not funny. We are going on a cruise. This is not funny. You have a little family van. When do you ever bring a family van to pick up 6 people? Okay? This is ridiculous. You guys are everywhere. Why are you sending a family van?
My kids were so embarrassed, and Don's like, you know that's gonna stick, right? I'm like, what's gonna stick? He goes, you losing your shit on this family van. I'm like, it's not, they're not gonna air that. It's stupid. And sure enough, it's one of the biggest scenes ever in the history of Bravo.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. It's this idiot.
Season 2's revamp pays off.
Whether you like these characters or loathe them, the series has become must-see TV for millions of viewers.
It gets double the viewers of season 1. That's 1.2 million people in awe of the Housewives' wealth and unfiltered drama.
It's like a snowball, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I definitely felt like, oh shit, this might be something.
Love your show. Yeah, there you go.
I just remember a friend calling me and saying, you have to check out this show about these rich, out-of-touch white women who live in this part of California that we've never heard of before. And I tuned in and was hooked instantaneously.
Okay, I can't watch. You're doing great.
With Orange County conquered, the network quickly looks to expand its empire. Beginning in 2008, Bravo starts franchises in New York City, Atlanta, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., Beverly Hills, and Miami in quick succession, turning whole new groups of housewives into overnight celebrities.
I was literally on the show one night, and the next day I was in the McDonald's drive-thru, and the lady at the drive-thru window was like, oh my God, you're Cynthia Bailey. I just watched you last night on Housewives. And to be recognized like immediately, the instant celebrity is just crazy. Like I was literally like on the show one day and the next day I was famous.
Oh, genius, that was it.
You know, this is so different for me to come and see you at work, honey.
Oh, because you know I usually see you at the bar, girl.
My name is Cynthia Bailey, and I was on 11 seasons of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am originally from a small town in Alabama. I ended up moving to New York City right out of high school to pursue my modeling career. And from there, the rest is history.
I want to marry you.
I'm taken. There's a lot of perks that come with fame. I check into a hotel and they upgrade me to the suite because I'm Cynthia Bailey. Like, oh, Miss Bailey, we saw that it was you. You had this really basic room, but we just gave you the penthouse suite. Yeah, that's nice.
You become important in your own mind. My manager told me, fame is like a drug. You know it's bad for you, but you want more of it. And I thought, do I want more of it? I've never done drugs, but yeah, I want more of it. I want more fame.
We're the originals. There's nothing like the OC.
The women embrace their sudden superstardom, and there's no more holding back on camera.
You want to have this conversation now? I'll have it now. Bring it on.
You can't just do the same old, drive around and look at Gina's real estate clients.
I know your client will love it. It's a beautiful house.
They realized that the conflict and drama was what everybody wanted to see. And the more drama, the more ratings.
You're insulting my husband.
Your husband was rude to my husband.
So that's what they did.
Everything good?
How are you, buddy? Good. What are you drinking there? It's straight vodka. That's what I thought it was.
So the final party for season 5 of The Real Housewives of Orange County, tensions had been really high between Tamra and Gina.
Everybody's drinking. They've been drinking for 2 hours. And I go, what's wrong with Tamra? Look at her over there. She's really acting like she's upset about something. So she comes over and she has this wild look in her eye, and I'm like, this is not gonna go well.
I'm disgusted at the human being that you've turned into.
Why is that?
Really? Why is that?
So as a producer, you kind of know something's gonna happen, but you're not sure what. So you just make sure that the cameras are around.
Okay, first of all, it's none of your business. Do you understand me? Stay out of my life.
Everybody else has a small glass of wine. She's got a goblet.
This is a letter from my attorney. It's a letter of consistency.
Go give it to my attorney.
No, here's your letter, bitch.
Touch me. I'll throw your skinny
Go
little
ahead.
ass in
Show
the
me.
field.
Show me.
Don't touch my daughter.
Okay, right.
Oh my God.
That's when Tamra threw the wine, and then chaos.
Don't get out.
Oh my! Honestly, I think I blacked out.
Get out of here. Nobody wants you. Nobody likes you.
It was ugly.
She just threw drinks in my face and all over my clothes. I've never seen anything like, I've never seen a dog act like that.
When she threw that wine at me, people were calling saying, you guys have trended #1 for 3 days. That's all anybody's talking about. And then, of course, we set the standard for everybody else.
Stupid bitch!
You're a f***ing jerk.
Just 4 years after first hitting the air, the drama of The Real Housewives has become so infamous.
There's always really major, scary arguments that go on.
Now I gotta watch it.
It has its own news cycle.
It was the worst fight on television, like anybody's ever seen on television.
And for additional post-game analysis, fans can tune in to Watch What Happens Live, executive producer Andy Cohen's very own late-night talk show, where he's gleefully fanning the flames.
Did he say the defense after the line about the STD?
I really can't even talk about this right now because I'm so upset.
It's hard to imagine Bravo without Andy. He has the same winking tone as the shows. He really enjoys the gossip and the drama of them.
I love big
Titties.
tits.
Yeah.
But hold on. No, listen to me.
With Andy Cohen, we have this figure who is really sort of blurring the line between executive and friend and host.
And if you don't want to be on the show, you don't have to be on the show.
I think that anytime you have somebody who is occupying multiple roles, some of which are in very real positions of power over somebody else, I think you have a recipe for disaster.
We love our housewives. They're all our children. I love them. All my crazy little girls.
When I started The Housewives, you know, I really, really thought Andy was just amazing. And he was like the big boss. He was like the Charlie of the Charlie's Angels. I felt like he was my friend. I'm Aviva Drescher, and I was one of the Real Housewives of New York. So a friend of mine who was in PR said, I would really like you to try out for The Housewives. And I said, no way, those women are batshit.
You're a phony and you're a fake to me. And you lie, and I don't like that. See, now that smile again. Oh my God, I can't take that smile.
At the time, my philanthropy work involved raising money for causes that helped amputees buy prosthetics because I had an accident when I was 6 years old and I lost part of my leg. So I went from no way to yes because I felt like if I got on television wearing a bikini and going for a jog, that would just help so many more people than the people I was helping one-on-one.
In 2012, as Aviva is set to join the show, The Real Housewives of New York are in their 5th season, boasting up to 1.5 million viewers each week. Her reach to help amputees would be huge, but she's about to get her first taste of just how much power Cohen & Co. have over the cast.
When I was first handed the contract, the financials are a joke. You don't start off doing The Real Housewives for money. It's insultingly low. But the contract itself was horrific. It was basically just saying, like, if we catch you making a number 2 on the toilet and we choose to air it, too bad. And if we want to air it for the next 20 years and give you no money for it, too bad. We own you, you get nothing, and we can do whatever we want.
I definitely feel like this is a deal with the devil.
It's a raw deal, but one every housewife must decide to take if they want in.
So the first season, we got no pay.
Nothing, 0. Season 2, I believe I got paid $5,000 for the whole season. Yeah, not much money. I didn't even have an attorney look over my contract. It was like, yeah, I'll sign it. I had no idea what I was doing.
At the end of the day, it was a joint decision for me and my husband. And I said, you know what? Let's just do it. I'm gonna just not make a number 2 in front of the camera. I'm gonna be authentic and I'm gonna be myself on camera, and that's that.
Oh, you know, Luann, I'm so mad at you. What do you mean?
But maintaining control of their own narrative is much harder than it sounds,
Liar! Liar! Grow up!
as producers have access to all aspects of the women's lives, and nothing appears off limits.
What you been doing?
Just living.
So, all right, this was like one of the worst filming experiences of my life. My castmate at the time, Phaedra Parks, she and her husband Apollo were going through like all kind of craziness in their marriage. Apollo was good friends with my husband, Peter. Apollo told Peter that Phaedra was cheating on him with a guy named Mr. Chocolate. You can't make this stuff up. And then, of course, the producers were like, well, you have to tell the girls. So I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I could just put it on the table, but if we're not really gonna put it on the table, then it is what it is.
I'm like so stressed out about it. I don't like it.
Let me just go ahead and put everything on the table.
I'm literally praying for like a power outage. Anything to happen so I don't have to say this. I'm getting like text on my phone and people in the corner with the teleprompter like, drop the bomb, drop the bomb, drop the bomb, bring up Mr. Chocolate. So finally I'm like, so,
Peter told me that he found out that you were dating some guy.
She was so pissed.
And who was again, the man that you've been sleeping with. Oh, no,
I don't like bringing bad news to people.
you don't want to know the truth. The truth is you go around calling everybody wrong. You niggas horn here.
I don't like bringing hurtful things to people, but unfortunately on a reality show, we have to talk about it, and that's just how it works.
Identical scenes are playing out across the Housewives multiverse,
They were behaving like savage beasts.
leading critics to ask the inevitable question.
First of all, is that for real or are they just playing?
They're not playing, it's for real. We cast highly dramatic women. They feel the way they feel. They just happen to feel things maybe stronger than than your neighbor next door.
I can promise you, the cast on its own would never have an argument. I can assure you. We are grown women with children, and it's not our first time at the rodeo of life. Even the ones who you think are the worst are 1,000 times nicer than what you think they are. We don't want to hurt someone's feelings, but we have to hurt someone's feelings in the name of making a great show with great ratings.
Nobody likes you. Nobody wants to be around you. Don't tell me anything, mother.
The truth is, we always want drama on these shows. It's fun to watch. The audience loves it.
You're Get away from me.
But I think the level of drama now has sort of really exploded.
It ain't gonna happen, bitch, because you don't exist.
And shut the up, okay?
There's a real sort of pressure on these cast members to bring it, quite frankly.
Who's you?
My husband.
Oh, really?
The husband that you wish you had. You done slept with everybody. You're a whore.
I feel like we are like gladiators with tits. We are in an arena with millions of people watching. That's what it feels like, being involved in the drama on Real Housewives. It feels like you're a gladiator with tits. The goal is to make us look batshit crazy. And if you didn't produce drama, you were gonna get fired.
By 2014, the show has become a money-making machine, with every franchise consistently placing in Bravo's most-watched top 10. And the housewives able to deliver the drama are richly rewarded.
When I came back the next season, I had a very significant bump financially. I want to say I went from 40 to probably 200,000.
I've earned this necklace. I've worked hard for this necklace.
And then every year after that, it was like another bump. By the time I got to my 11th season, I was doing very, very well.
My final full-time season, it was significant, 7 figures. I never really thought I would ever make the number that I was making.
But reaching this level of success isn't easy, as trying to please both Bravo and its drama-addicted audience can prove crazy-making.
I think that's very, very difficult to produce drama and to please everybody and to keep yourself likable by the majority of the audience. I feel like I definitely lost myself in the process. I was just trying to make a great show with great ratings. And at some point, you just lean into it. You're just like, okay, we're making a show, and that's what you're doing. So if you can't beat them, you join them.
I heard that you were mean. I heard you did mean things. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm disappointed. You're both white trash, quite frankly.
I went from likable to unlikable when I called the girls white trash in St. Bart's.
You might want to apologize for saying that.
For saying white trash? When it was aired, I think that's when the audience turned on me. They didn't like me at all, understandably. At that point, I just decided that I was going to lean into the villain that I had become.
You pretend to be so real. There's nothing real about you, Ramona.
And it was more important to please production than it was to be myself.
It's all about fun. I can't find fun.
Sacrificing their own dignity for the cameras is one thing, but not everyone involved in filming asked for this.
So tell me what's going on.
I'm here to seek legal counsel for filing for a divorce.
So when you're on a reality show, it's like living your life twice. If you're having marital problems in your real life, you have to deal with that in real life, and then you air it on the show. I remember like when Peter and I started having marital issues, it was just really tough because we were really going through it personally. And then you go on social media and they're saying, oh my God, he's such a narcissist. How could she be with him? After a while, it starts to mess with you. Are they seeing something that I'm not seeing? And that was really tough.
People have asked me if I regret doing the show, and when I look at my relationships...
When's the last time we did this?
I don't even know.
In a while.
I'd say yes.
I guess we can call it a date night. We haven't been on a date in a long time.
With Don, 100% the show had an impact on our relationship. Being on TV 100% had a role in our divorce because it puts a lot of pressure on a marriage. I think we would have survived if I wasn't on the show, so that I regret.
What are you doing? How did I get here again?
I feel like I failed in my marriage. It's hard.
There's a lot of pressure in being open enough to share what's happening in your life. So many housewives have gotten divorced on the show. A lot of people like to blame the show for these divorces, but the show's not going to make something out of nothing. These are real people's lives, and they have issues in their marriages, and it ends up exploding because the truth always comes out. The camera never lies.
Between the stress at home and the pressure on set, the women are pushed to breaking point. And while it may look like yet more housewife chaos, what's happening underneath is much more troubling.
So I don't have a lot of regrets on the show. However, this is definitely one of my biggest regrets. I was already going through some stuff with my husband at the time. I was not in the best headspace. I'm good. Like, for the rest of the day, y'all forget about me. I remember not eating before that scene. And there was like a bar on the boat, and of course, I wanted a margarita as soon as I got on the boat. And I'm like, all right, I got my cocktail, let's shoot.
Margarita.
And I remember actually Portia and I drinking together.
It's very small.
At some point during the scene, Portia called me a bitch. And I was like,
Don't call me a bitch. I'm not calling you a bitch.
I'm just playing with you. What? No, you don't.
oh, so you playing? No. I don't know if it was the alcohol.
Dismissive and it's disrespectful and your ass know that it is.
Hold on.
I don't know if it was not eating that day.
You're I'm telling your low ass chin is ruined.
I just kind of snapped.
You're not to me, bitch. Okay. What? Are they fighting? What the?
I don't fight women. I've never been in a fight in my life.
Come on.
Like, that's even still hard to talk about right now. Like, I don't even know. I just felt so upset with myself.
Do not follow.
One of the things that I promised myself was I will never, ever, ever lose myself in a moment where I show up in a way that I'm not, that I don't feel good about.
Hi, puppies.
For the most part, I was really happy with how it was portrayed, but there were seasons where they didn't have it correct at all, and I got really upset, and I thought, you know, you're not showcasing me who I am. So when I started putting my boundaries up and saying, I'm not filming that, I'm not saying that, they would go to the other cast members, ask Vicki about that, ask Vicki about that.
It's why are you dating Brock? Why are you dating Brock?
They just found puppets that they could manipulate, and they do encourage liquid courage. I mean, they do.
If the Housewives' engine is built on drama, then its fuel is booze.
Alcohol fuels emotion, so it's taking her to the deep end.
You don't have any fun.
I was never one of those producers that, filled them with alcohol. But I think alcohol plays a role on the show because it's truth serum. And I think a lot of times it loosens people up to the point of probably saying things that they regret.
Alcohol is a big part of Bravo's culture.
Have you ever gotten so drunk during filming you couldn't remember what you said on camera?
And some of the most iconic moments are based around alcohol. Luann de Lesseps falling in the bush.
Hello.
Vicki Gunvalson at Andales. It feels fun as a viewer to see that stuff.
Ew, in the gutter.
My name is Anna Peel. I'm a journalist and a Bravo fan, and I wrote an investigative piece on Bravo and the workplace culture there for Vanity Fair.
What am I supposed to do? I'm like the fat lady. You're like the one that says, oh, I'm this fat, and I'm the one that says, I'm this fat. Get in here, it's still so good.
It came to my attention that there were people who had been out of control, blackout drunk, at their workplace with alcohol that had been supplied by Bravo. They weren't cut off, they weren't encouraged to stop drinking, and their substance abuse was becoming a plot point on series at producer's direction.
Diva Drescher, who starred on 2 seasons of Real Housewives of New York City, claims that she was pressured by producers to drink a lot.
I was in this big fight with Ramona, And production asked me to go meet her at a restaurant, do a shot. You wanna do a shot of tequila? Let's move forward. Make up with her and move on. I said to the showrunner at the time, I have strep throat, I'm taking antibiotics, I really don't wanna do a shot. I said, can you just fill the shot up with water when you bring it to my table? And he said no. He said, no, we cannot.
Is this your first shot you've ever done?
I think it is. In that scenario, I was forced to drink. And that story is as true can be.
Both Bravo and Andy Cohen have consistently denied these allegations.
The head kahuna, Andy Cohen said, Aviva's claims are dumb and said this is just a lot of Aviva complaining. So what you have,
I think people tend to say, you know, you sign up for this, so whatever happens to you, you signed up for it. You wanted to be a Real Housewife and you got it.
These women sign a very thick contract. They know what they're signing up for. They're grown-ass women. So if they want to drink, then they're going to drink, and it's not our job to tell them when to stop. That's all on them.
A little bit heavier pour than you did.
Can people really consent to being filmed when they're drunk is one question. And the concept of somebody being drunk and the camera zooming in on that person instead of helping them is just really lacking all decency. And it really reminds me of the stadium with the gladiators. When the animal bites into the person's leg, does anybody give a shit about that person?
Vanity Fair isn't the only one looking to expose Bravo's practices. In early 2024, ABC's Nightline airs an interview detailing a lawsuit that will rock the Housewives multiverse to its core.
Former Real Housewife of New York, Leah McSweeney, is pulling back the curtain, disclosing what she says really went on behind the scenes of the Bravo reality TV shows she worked on.
Turmoil in the reality TV universe. Former star of Bravo's Real Housewives of New York City, Leah McSweeney, is suing Andy Cohen, Bravo, and others over what she calls a hostile work environment.
Leah McSweeney was a cast member on seasons 12 and 13 of The Real Housewives of New York City.
Leah McSweeney alleges production engaged in psychological warfare and retaliated against her because of her disabilities, including alcohol use disorder. Some of the most jaw-dropping claims in McSweeney's suit are directed at Cohen.
She describes Andy Cohen allegedly doing cocaine with Bravo cast members, and then those cast members getting preferential treatment.
McSweeney alleges that drug and alcohol abuse runs rampant behind the scenes and claims that production pushed her to drink, even though they knew she was a recovering alcoholic.
Leah's drinking was certainly glamorized on season 12 of Roni.
This is my weekend to do whatever I want. I don't even actually know what day it is. Am I gonna get thrown out of Rhode Island?
I don't remember what I did. I don't know what I said.
What you're describing, though, is the definition of blackout drunk.
Oh, I was totally blackout drunk.
She even goes a step further, alleging she was gaslit into drinking by producers who told her she wasn't as much fun to watch when sober.
Her lawsuit claims the episode was the highest rated from season 12, adding to the pressure she says she felt to keep drinking.
Leah says a producer told her that viewers didn't like her as much as they had when she'd been drinking. She would often get texts or verbal commands saying, like, this is boring. So there was this pressure to have it be fun and for things to be happening, for people to be loose.
Here comes Leah. Let's get Leah drunk, you guys. Let's get Leah drunk.
Spiraling out of control, Leah leaves the show in 2021.
McSweeney says that the hostile work environment on season 13 ultimately made her check into a psychiatric care facility.
Bravo is contesting all of Leah's claims. They've also cleared Andy Cohen of alleged drug use. And while Cohen hasn't commented publicly, the Housewives' reaction to Leah's claims is divided.
What I will say about Andy Cohen is he has always been nothing but professional with me. I've never seen Andy do cocaine, nor has he ever offered me any cocaine. I've never seen him do any drugs.
If Leah McSweeney is saying that she was trying to stay sober on set, and that production was coming to her and saying, we really miss the old hurricane, Leah. And they were constantly having the alcohol flowing, I would believe it. I don't think that the producers gave two shits about the cast, their health, their well-being, their personal lives.
You like it!
In fact, it was the opposite. The more we faltered, the ratings just skyrocket. They have no scruples.
Orange County's OG knows this all too well.
If you just go and find your name, that's where
We were playing bunco at Shannon's, and my brother, my sister, my daughter, my son, everybody was trying to call me, and the phone was not working, so they called production. Brianna had been calling, and they kept telling her, well, she's filming right now, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I need to talk to my mom right now. And they're like, okay, we're gonna have her call you from Shannon's wrapping paper room. They had set up the room with lights and cameramen, and I'm like, what's going on?
Oh my God, damn it! What's going on?
Oh, my mom just died. I just sick. She just died. I was really upset that production knew for an hour, and they didn't tell me. They were out of line, and I think they should have taken me aside and said, your mom has passed. Talk to your daughter off camera. Oh my God.
What's wrong? What happened?
My mom just died. What? If I was a producer, that's what I would have done. Let me scream and cry on my own and be mad. It was very, very traumatic. I want my mom back. I want my mom here. I want my mom.
I'm gonna go call her.
I want my mom. I will never forgive Bravo for that.
It's because of experiences like this that some housewives are now calling for a complete overhaul of the industry, a reality reckoning.
Former Real Housewife of New York, Bethany Frankel, says reality stars should unionize and go on strike.
She's fired up and leading the fight to bring change to the way reality show stars are treated.
Reality television is the wild, wild west.
There is a new fight taking shape in the entertainment world. Bethany Frankel is calling for reality TV stars to unionize and fight against alleged exploitation by networks and the studios.
In 2023, former New York housewife Bethany Frankel started a campaign for better treatment of those working in reality TV.
This group of talent is the most overworked, overexploited, and least compensated. There's no group that has a greater risk.
I don't want to piss anybody off, but I do believe she's got a very valid point about unionizing. Why can other people that are on TV get health benefits, they get a pension, and they get residuals every time that show airs? Why are we different? Because we don't have a script?
Please help me welcome from the Real Housewives of Orange County.
I believe that there's value in what we do, and I believe that the advertisers and the network and everybody making a ton of money. I think it should be passed down to us.
It's an industry that just because people sign up for it doesn't mean that they should be abused and exploited for years.
Do I think that reality TV needs to be unionized?
Here we go. Arms out. Good. Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. They can play my scenes over and over for the rest of their lives, and I do not get a dime for it.
And it's not just the cast who are demanding change.
I can't tell you how many times I see flashbacks of scenes that I shot, that I produced, and no one makes a penny off of that, except for Bravo.
Protections for cast and crew is 100% necessary. There need to be proper contracts in place that are fair, and there need to be provisions created whereby human beings are protected and respected, and their dignity is kept intact.
Reality TV has yet to have its reckoning. Meanwhile, the Housewives show no sign of slowing down as more franchises keep popping up around the world. There are now Housewives in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Poland, Germany, Dubai, and a dozen other countries.
The Real Housewives has been around for as long as it has been and is so popular really because there's something that is really lovely about having watched somebody on television for 10 years and sort of feel like you have been right there with them through marriage and divorce and kids leaving home. And I think that as long as viewers tend to feel that type of connection, The Housewives will be a successful television show.
I think people really want to be Real Housewives. Even people who described the atmosphere as abusive love being cast members at Bravo. Even while acknowledging that it was extremely damaging to them, they love it.
The Real Housewives have transformed the TV landscape on a global scale, creating a cult-like legacy
We're Bravo-holics.
thanks to these iconic characters and their legendary antics.
And I think all of us at the table think that there are much bigger issues that you're not facing.
I felt a very big calling to entertain people. I just didn't realize at what expense. I felt like the audience didn't get to see me as who I am. And my friends and people who meet me always say, I'm nothing like what they think I was on the show.
Let me tell you something, Heather. The only thing.
Keep it together, Aviva.
The only thing that is artificial or fake about me.
I remember we stopped and some of the girls were laughing, I was laughing. It was just really a funny scene. There's a leg flying around the room. I mean, it's great.
Oh my God.
When I was done with the drama nonsense, the partygoers applauded. And if that doesn't also speak to the fact that this is theater, I don't know what does. But that was my last season.
This is Watch What Happens Live. I'm Andy Cohen. As of tonight, well, I wouldn't say you're a former Orange County housewife. Gina, you are one of the first ladies of Bravo and always will be. How about that?
If Bravo wanted me to go back on The Housewives now, I would probably do it. I'm very proud to have been part of the Real Housewives of Orange County. I love the fact that you can look back on any channel any night, turn it on, and take a look back at your kids when they were little. It was just really nice to have video of those 6 years of the kids' lives.
You have a little family van. When do you ever bring a family van to pick up 6 people?
I never really liked being on camera. I can't believe I'm saying this 19 years later. I still don't like it.
Vicky, we got it loaded in here. Let's go. Come on.
It's a documentary of my life, and my life has been really, really good and really, really bad. Still filming now, but I'm very cautious on what I will showcase. I want happiness and peace and love and kindness, and it might be boring to some of you, but to me, it's everything I've ever wanted. And I realize that as you get older, you don't want conflict. You push it away, carve it out of your life.
You're gonna to me, bitch. Hey, what? Are they fighting? What the is happening?
I still can't believe it happened, honestly. I have to just try to laugh and make light of it. So long ago, wow.
I'm gonna catch that bitch. She's about on me.
How do I look back on my time as a housewife? I feel incredibly proud of myself. I feel like I didn't really compromise myself, and I really gave my truth, and I was transparent, and I was authentic. So I look back with good memories.
All the women were just all beyond lovely, hardworking, doing their best in a very difficult reality arena. It's a hustle like no other. And I have nothing but respect and admiration for all of them. And I don't regret doing it. But I think if I hadn't done it, I may have regretted not doing it.